Humanitarian crisis situation is unfolding in this country, and it's not blackface nor the lack of wall on the border. According to a National Institute of Justice study, more than half of Native American and Alaskan Native women have been sexually assaulted. More than a third have been raped, which is a proportion more than double that of white women. Now, for girls and young women aged 15 to 24, homicide is the third leading cause of death. On top of that, thousands of American Indian and Alaska Native women and girls have simply gone missing. Another study by the Urban Indian Health Institute identified 153 missing or dead women whose cases didn't even exist in law enforcement records, and cited more than one police department whose reports confuse American Indians and Indian Americans. Now, bureaucratic issues complicate efforts to combat these injustices. A crime on or near reservation land can come across the desk of tribal officers, the local police, the FBI, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and state police, leading to delays and miscues in investigations. But moreover, this is a group of women whose plight historically goes ignored by the media, by politicians, and by you and me. Fortunately, Senators Lisa Murkowski and Catherine Cortez Masto have reintroduced legislation focusing attention and resources on the problem, and Senator Jon Tester of Montana proposed a bill directing the Government Accountability Office to review federal agencies' response to the crisis and to recommend solutions. Now, I applaud these efforts, but the fact that this has gone unnoticed for so long is criminal. Yesterday, I scrolled through Twitter and I couldn't even believe that this was real, because there's no way we would allow this to exist in our country. Not to our citizens, not to Native women after all they've been through. We did, and we have. No more. We're going to continue.